This symposium marks the 10th anniversary of the FSRA as an independent statutory body responsible for licensing, regulating, and supervising all non-bank financial institutions operating in St. Lucia, including international financial services, the offshore sector. I welcome you all to the FSRA's first ever symposium on the theme, The Path Forward, Mitigating Risk, Preparedness, and Resilience. 10 years is a significant milestone in the life of any institution, and this is even more significant given the rapid advancement in the global financial services sector and its impact on developing states. The FSRA remains steadfast in fulfilling its core mandates, ensuring the integrity of St. Lucia's financial services sector while providing effective supervision of registered entities operating within the jurisdiction. As a developing state, our economy faces unique challenges, but possible opportunities in the global financial landscape. Our vulnerability to external shocks, the effects of climate change and pandemics, coupled with our reliance on tourism as our main economic driver, underscores the urgency of the theme we are addressing today. The question is, how do we strengthen our resilience to mitigate against these external shocks, which we have very little control over? Our financial system has demonstrated strong resilience and has battled against the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic's impact on the bottom line of these institutions. Our economy is rebounding, evidenced by robust growth in the tourism sector, as our arrival numbers have now exceeded pre-pandemic levels and at new highs. Unemployment has been reduced to its lowest level ever during the first quarter of 2024. Youth unemployment, although still unacceptable high, is at its lowest. And the tourism and construction sectors continue to expand. Given the current upswing in the economic cycle, financial institutions should leverage the favorable environment to strengthen their balance sheets, increase reserves, and enhance their business processes. By achieving greater efficiency now, they can build resilience to better navigate future economic downturns. And I want to encourage the members of the financial services sector, to encourage their clients to make use of the tax incentives offered by the government in terms of the removal of interest and fees on all overdue or past due taxes from 2021. That would inevitably also strengthen their balance sheets in that it will cause a reduction in their liabilities to the Inland Revenue Department. So I want to encourage you to try to persuade your clients to take advantage of these tax concessions, that removal of fines and interest. And also, it will do well for me because my revenue will increase. So it's a win-win situation. Your clients benefit and the government benefits. So please encourage your clients to make use of that concession. This symposium covers a range of topics aligned to the theme, which I'm sure will be discussed, and you already started discussing, by the knowledgeable panelists, people with various backgrounds and expertise in the financial services sector. The topics up for discussion will range from the effects of climate change on financial risks, which you did this morning, the emergence of new technologies in financial services, credit unions and their growing significance in the financial landscape, and compliance with international regulatory standards. I'm happy that we are having these conversations at this critical juncture as the financial services industry globally is changing very rapidly, and we are not immune to these changes. Not only are these changes reflected in the range of new financial products and services offered to our people, but also the rapidly increasing technological advances in artificial intelligence, machine reading, blockchain technology, and other fintech-related platforms are revolutionizing the way we do business. While these advancements in technology offer new opportunities to both the providers and consumers of financial services, they could also pose significant risks if sufficient safeguards are not in place. Therefore, regulators must assess these emerging risks and implement mitigation strategies in order to minimize the effects on the service providers. Consequently, regulators are constantly updating and modernizing their legal architecture to keep abreast of the rapid changes in the financial services landscape. The laws empowering regulators to perform their responsibilities efficiently and effectively are continuously amended and updated to reflect these new developments. Reflecting the need for constant revisions of legislation and financial regulation, the Government of St. Lucia recently passed a new Cooperative Society Act, number 16 of 2024. The FSRA has undertaken a program of activities to educate stakeholders on the provisions of the new act and to address any concerns they may have. And I want to speak about the concerns that the stakeholders may have on the Cooperative Societies Act. You must understand the credit union and the cooperatives are indigenous institutions where the majority of people who before and even now had no access to traditional financial services, they have access to credit unions and cooperatives. So while we try to regulate and ensure that they are compliant, we must always be mindful that these organizations are people-based organizations and they deal with the regular people in the society. So our regulation must be compliant, but it cannot be one size fits all. Other recent amended or new legislation directly or indirectly related to the FSRA in performing its regulatory oversight responsibilities include the Insurance Amendment Act, number 3 of 2022, the FSRA Amendment Act, number 4 of 2022, the Virtual Assets Business Act, number 24 of 2022, Money Services Amendment Act, number 3 of 2023, the Credit Reporting Act, number 13 of 2023, and the Insolvency Act, number 17 of 2024. This symposium is a vital platform for discussing the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead and formulating effective strategies to strengthen our financial ecosystem. The Government of St. Lucia reaffirms its commitment to legislation that will ensure that St. Lucia is compliant with international financial standards, and our financial services are protected for the benefit of the people of St. Lucia. During today's proceedings, you as industry leaders and experts in your respective fields in financial services will engage in frank and productive discussions and exchange ideas on some of the latest developments in the industry. A key objective of the symposium is to enlighten the general public on what these issues are and how they as consumers are likely to be impacted. To this end, today's proceedings should be edited and broadcast to the public as part of the FSRA sensitization drive in creating greater public awareness on the issues for discussion. We must never forget that these institutions and these services are for the people of the country. All the people of the country should benefit from these discussions. We cannot develop a dual society where only one part of the population benefits from growth or expansion. Anything we do, we understand fully that we operate in a global world and St. Lucia cannot stand alone. But we must have our programs must never be ahead of the people of the country. So we must be patient, we must be unique, but we must understand that these organizations exist for people at some level of the society. Hence, if we are speaking about the setting up of bank accounts, it must not be a task where you have to find who is your mother, your grandfather, your aunt, or your cousin. It cannot be. It cannot be right. And regardless of what standards we have to deal with, that a young person coming from school cannot open a bank account because they don't have 2 or 3 forms of ID. And you must understand that this playing field is not level. A lot of what we are asked to do is not being done in the countries that asked us to do it. But we understand that we are small fish in a big pond, and it must be compliant, but we cannot fall down and die. We have to be unique, we have to be efficient, we have to be professional, but we cannot lie down and die because someone says we must do it. St. Lucia must protect its financial reputation. We must respect our reputation as a people. And we have to protect our reputation in many different ways. In what we say, in what we do, in the news that we say about our country, and in our institutions. But we must never forget that we have to protect the welfare of the people of the country. And you, as the brightest and the best, must also understand that you have a responsibility to protect those who are not as fortunate as you, or those who do not have the opportunity to do what you did. So I want to say to you today, when you leave this forum, the people of the country should understand better why compliance and regulation is necessary, why we have to do certain things, why they must have a source of funds for the income that comes from abroad. But they must understand. But we must not make them believe that they are inefficient, or they are ignorant, or they do not know what happens. You must educate them. That is your role, to educate them. Because the final analysis, all of us have to live in this country. And even if we can protect ourselves, but the country will remain, and we have to make the country a better place for all of us. I thank you very much.